Let's be real for a moment. Have you ever met someone who says, "Just think positive," or "Everything happens for a reason," right after you've told them you're struggling? Yeah, that's spiritual bypassing. It's like slapping a "good vibes only" sticker on a cracked wall and calling it a mansion. But here's the truth. Real spirituality isn't just about feeling good all the time. It's about feeling everything. The good, the bad, and the downright ugly. If you're skipping over the hard stuff, you're not growing. You're hiding. So, what exactly is spiritual bypassing? It's when we use spiritual ideas or practices to avoid facing our uncomfortable emotions, unresolved wounds, or even life's challenges. Phrases like this can actually do more harm than good. Spiritual bypassing might look like always focusing on the bright side while ignoring real pain, using meditation to escape instead of confronting your emotions, dismissing your struggles by saying they're just illusions. When you bypass your emotions, you're not growing. You're just sweeping them under the rug. And trust me, those emotions don't just disappear. They linger, grow, and eventually they'll burst out, louder and messier than before. Think of it like this. Emotions are like water in a bottle. If you keep shaking it but never open the cap, sooner or later, it's going to explode. That's what happens when you ignore your sadness, anger, or fear. A lot of people think spirituality means you should only feel peaceful or happy. But here's a shocker. Judging your emotions isn't spiritual. That's the mind. Spirituality is not good, and it's not bad. It simply is. Like the sun rising in the morning, or the waves crashing on the shore, spirituality is a natural part of existence, free from human-made labels. But we live in a world where people are constantly told they have to be nice to be considered spiritual. If someone expresses anger, frustration, or sets boundaries, they're often shamed as being unspiritual. Society has turned spirituality into a performance where you're expected to smile, forgive instantly, and be endlessly patient, even when you're hurting inside. But let me tell you something. Spirituality is not about pretending to be a saint. It's about being real. It's about embracing the full spectrum of your humanity, not just the parts that look good on a bumper sticker. Being spiritual doesn't mean you'll never raise your voice, have a bad day, or feel overwhelmed. It doesn't mean you're constantly serene and unshaken by life's chaos. True spirituality allows for all of it. The messy, raw, imperfect human experience. When we shame people for being unspiritual because they don't conform to some unrealistic ideal, we're not practicing spirituality. We're enforcing another set of rules, another illusion. Spirituality isn't about being nice. It's about being authentic. And authenticity sometimes means saying no, expressing anger, or standing your ground. It's not about suppressing the ugly parts of yourself. It's about integrating them and realizing that every part of you is valid. Spirituality doesn't judge. It simply allows. It's not about striving to fit into a box. It's about breaking free and realizing there's no box to begin with. So, let go of the need to be nice, to prove your spirituality. Instead, just be you. That's as spiritual as it gets. In non-duality, all emotions are equal. Joy and sorrow, peace and anger. They're all part of the same tapestry of existence. Labeling some as good and others as bad is just the ego trying to take control. True spirituality is about embracing every emotion fully, without judgment. Because guess what? Every emotion has something to teach you. Let's break it down. Spiritual bypassing can sneak into your life in subtle ways. Here's how. The first one is meditation escape. Using meditation not to connect, but to avoid feeling sadness or anxiety. Second one is toxic positivity, forcing yourself to stay positive when you're really hurting. And the last one is detachment overload, misunderstanding non-attachment as a reason to ignore your emotions. Here are the few examples. A person crying, then saying, "I shouldn't feel this way. I'm supposed to be enlightened." Someone meditating while visibly upset, avoiding their feelings. These behaviors keep you stuck. They might feel like spiritual progress, but they're just spiritual avoidance. To grow spiritually, you need to face your emotions head on. That means sitting with your discomfort, even when it feels unbearable. Every emotion is a visitor. If you welcome them, they'll eventually leave. But if you slam the door, they'll keep knocking louder. In the modern New Age movement, there's a tendency to replace negative emotions with the concept of healing. When someone feels triggered, they often jump to the conclusion that they're broken and need to be fixed, which manifests in the form of healing modalities. They rush to repair their mind, diving into endless cycles of shadow work, affirmations, energy clearings, and whatever else they think will heal them. But here's the truth. You're not broken. You don't need to repair your mind because the mind is not something that can be fixed. It's not a machine with missing parts. The mind, by its nature, is chaotic, dualistic, full of stories, judgments, and conditioning. Repairing the contents of your mind will never change how it functions. The mind goes up, it goes down. Instead, stop living through it. Trying to repair it is like trying to untangle a never-ending knot. It only leads to more frustration and suffering. Healing, as it's often called, can become another trap, keeping people stuck in cycles of self-improvement with no finish line in sight. The purpose of healing, so to speak, is to realize that you are already healed. Healing doesn't cause self-actualization, but self-actualization causes healing. If you go ask any spiritual master, they are all going to tell you that you don't need healing to begin with. You simply forgot who you are. You have believed that you are your mind. That is what makes you believe that you need healing. The key isn't to fix the mind or replace your triggers with healing narratives or modalities. The key is to transcend the mind entirely. Transcendence doesn't mean escaping the mind, but recognizing that you are not the mind. You are the awareness behind it. The still, unchanging presence that observes all the chaos without getting entangled in it. When you stop trying to fix your mind and start observing it, you'll realize that triggers aren't signs of brokenness. They're simply waves of energy passing through your awareness. You don't need to fix them. You just need to let them be. True freedom comes not from endlessly healing, but from understanding that there's nothing to heal in the first place. The only thing that needs to happen is to see through the illusion of the mind, to realize that it's not the ultimate reality. Healing, when misunderstood, keeps you locked in the story of I am not enough. Transcendence liberates you into the truth. You were never broken to begin with. You simply have a case of mistaken identity. How do you avoid spiritual bypassing and embrace your emotions fully? Acknowledge your feelings. Instead of saying, I shouldn't feel this, try saying, I feel this, and it's okay. Practice. Mindful presence. Sit with your emotions without trying to change or judge them. Let them flow naturally. Seek support. Talk to someone who won't invalidate your feelings. This could be a therapist, a trusted friend, or even a spiritual mentor who gets it. Balance spiritual practices. Use meditation, affirmations, and prayer as tools for connection, not escape. When you stop running from your emotions and start embracing them, you'll discover something incredible. Freedom. You'll no longer be controlled by the fear of feeling. True spirituality isn't about feeling good all the time. It's about being fully present with whatever arises. That's where real growth happens. So, next time you're tempted to bypass your feelings with a positive vibes-only mindset, pause. Remember, the path to true spirituality isn't about avoiding pain. It's about embracing everything. The light and the dark, the joy and the pain. That's where your true power lies. Thank you for joining me in this wonderful exploration. Stay present, stay mindful, and remember, you are not alone on this journey. See you next time, and peace out.